Hello and welcome to Sunday. It's pretty late in the evening, and well, it's been a somewhat busy day. Got up pretty early, and well, not pretty early, like 8 something late, lounged in bed until 9. It's the first Sunday of the month, so that means a lot of housework for me personally, cleaning, laundry, washing sheets, and everything. So that happened. Combine that with the fact that I do want to kind of stick to my plan of releasing an album review every 2 weeks, and because I miss so much, I pretty much need to release a review every weekend or every week up until the end of the year. So that's what I spent a bulk of my time doing today between cleaning, laundry, and that whole thing, and saying goodbye to my cousin who should be you know long gone with the car now. He left like 10:30, so everything's good there. The check engine light did come on midway through the journey, so that's not great, but hey, it's a project car, so he ended up buying some spark plugs, and everything got sorted there. So all fine there. But that happened. I ended up reading a book. In the process of rereading a book for a book club, one that I talked about earlier this year, and that I have the album right here beneath a bunch of papers and everything, so I can't just pull it out. Is it over here? It's not. It's Japanese Breakfast's Jubilee, Michelle Zahner's memoir, Crying in H Mart. I have a book club meeting about it tomorrow, so um, I'm like just quickly breezing through it and rushing through it and making sure I'm like familiar with it so I can help with push the discussion forward. But let's talk about an album that I guess want to talk about. I don't actually own this album, so there's no magical mystical artwork, so I'll put something up here in post or like whatever when I do thumbnails. Here's the album. I'm going to be talking about Lost Spaces, No Vacancy. Now, this is a very indie artist. I actually don't know how I first stumbled across this band. This artist, um, the band Lost Spaces is led by frontman Samuel Lopez. It's a Malaysian-based band, and I think I know how I figured it out. Um, had been listening to a band called Hyuko, or something along those lines, which is a Korean pop rock band, and Lost Spaces ended up opening for them at some point. So it was like, once I was listening to that band, this popped up in my feed, probably like similar artists or like people listen to this. So I'm like, okay. And I gave it a listen. I fell in love right away. And then I like forgot about it. And like I had this memory of this album art. This ooh, this album art. And like the first song being like a voicemail recording. And then once I discovered it, like last year or maybe 2 years ago or something, I was like, gotta remember this, add it to my Spotify. Like, so now we're here. So I wanted to, like, I was planning to do this album right here, but like the amount of effort that it would require to do research and everything, and like the depth that I want to go onto that album would be a lot. So that's gonna be saved for 2 weeks from now, because up next would be an album that's over there. One of my favorite albums of all time that really impacted my life to a degree, and one that I wanted to write a review of 5 years ago for the 10th anniversary. So we'll be doing the 15th anniversary for that. So all that out of the way, let's talk quickly about Lost Spaces, No Vacancy. It's a synth pop album that has just like funky guitars, funky synths. It's all about love. The whole theme of the album, it's like a like vapor. It's like a funky vaporwave, like synth heavy pop, disco kind of like melting pot of genres. it's it's good. Um, I kind of like it's very easily listening background noise kind of thing. Um, there are 14 tracks on here with only like two of them aren't really like kind of real. There's one called Capsule O3 and which is like not. It's just like you know a little bit of music playing, but it's just there's not really any like depth to that track. The first track, Voicemail Dash 01, is literally just like a voicemail with just like a little bit sparkly synths playing in the background. But the album revolves around the concept of the lead singer, frontman, you know, star of the show, Samuel Lopez, and his heart, being a metaphor for the motel. The motel being no vacancy. It's a closed down motel. The first thing you hear is a woman calling asking for a room reservation, and the guy at the counter says, "We're permanently closed." And then you just hear busy time when they call back. It's a themes how Lopez is closing himself off from love, and how he begins to open up and eventually lets himself become vulnerable and allows himself to actually participate in like a loving relationship. It's a wonderful, wonderful synth pop album. It's just there really isn't too much depth to it. He did release a album. I'm not so sure if it was this year or last year. It was June this year, called Occupy, and I have not listened to that. I should give it a listen to maybe tomorrow. I did a lot of music listening today, but yeah, like a lot of these have like just catchy, catchy synths, and they're so fun, and like they're delightful, and it's like I would use the word fun to describe this album as a whole. It's just delightful synths, funky guitars, like pretty decent percussion, and like it does kind of get like samey after like there's a song called Disco Haze, which sounds like it was plucked right out of the disco era, that features the artist Jay or Jai. It's capital all caps Jaie, features their vocals. Incredible, like deep, smoky, breathy vocals that are perfect for a disco track. But like things kind of feel, I don't know, like there's a song called 35mm, so 35 millimeter, that compares life to like a black and white film, and it just feels like there's a lot of repetition that doesn't really offer too much depth. And while like a bunch of songs have like repeated choruses and everything, it just feels very samey, for lack of a better term. Um, there are songs like "Not Calling You," like that chorus like is stuck in my head right now. Um, I can't sing it off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna load it up and look at the lyric. Um, yeah, it's now you're leaving me in limbo. I guess I'm reading you with really confusing symbols. I'm not here to play games. I'm not calling you tonight. And just like that chorus is so funky. It's like the synths are. It's so much fun, but it's so repetitive. Like if I scroll through the lyrics, it's just like it's basically the same thing over and over again. And while there's like some nice stuff on here, like songs like feel very similar. They're like meshing together, and that does happen like the latter half of the album, which kind of sucks because it's the what makes it unique. The synths and the funk and everything just kind of like all that fades away and it's gone, and it's just like you're left with the novelty of everything. Just kind of like, okay, I get it. It like meshes together. Take for something like example, an album that I know decently well. The only one that I'm seeing right here would be what is this one? Okay. that's on this. Which one is this? Okay, I don't. Okay, I don't know these too well. Let's go with. I guess we'll just go with the classic Jeff. Um, like take again Jeff Rosenstock's Hell Mode, for example. Like it's all these songs feel very very unique and like they're all very different from each other. And while like there's still a cohesion to the piece, I actually like when I was talking about Origami Angel last week, which I have here maybe yes. Um, Here we go, right here. So when I was talking about this, like it's a mixtape that has very unique feeling songs, but they all like tie together with that like surfer theme, which every song feels unique on here. A lot of them do feel like very different. Like I could pick out like melodies and like things that make each track special. It's just like by the end of the record, it feels very. It doesn't feel as special. Um, Regardless, it's a very easy listen. It's perfect for background noise. Box Set Girlfriend is so so good. I love the music video for that, and yeah, like the first like three big tracks on here, Bad Motel, Box Set Girlfriend, and Instant Romance are all great. But like as soon as you listen to those three, it's like okay, you get the vibe. Disco Haze is a very like nice song to break it up with like a bunch of funky disco stuff, but like those are the highlights. Again, Box Set Girlfriend's probably the best one here. It's just what can you do? It's fun. This I think this might be my lowest scoring. Like I wanted to like I go into my reviews like for albums that mean a lot to me or song like things that like are decent that I really enjoy, and like this one I've listened to countless times, and I never really paid too much attention to it. So when like I going into depth in it, and it's just like there isn't a lot of substance here. Sure, it's fun and an easy listen. It's just it's like it's all about heartbreak and love, and sure, but like it's very it's very well produced. It's just like it feels more like generic pop rather than something that um has a lot of depth and meaning to it. Which if I feel so bad doing this, but um, once I had finished listening to it, I was like, yes, it's like a 7. But then I was like, is it a 7? So I'm like, maybe it's like I feel 6 is too harsh, and I feel like 7 is a bit too generous. So I split the difference at 6.5, and like I think that's right. I could go to a 7, but like I don't know. It's rough, and like I feel like I didn't do it justice, unfortunately. I did kind of rush this review out, and like it. I still need to like do all the publishing stuff when I wake up, so that's gonna be a whole thing tomorrow morning when I rush to do that. But um, yeah, I do feel like I could have spent a bit more time with this. I was just really rushing because of busy week and busy times. It's a fine album. I will like listen to this on the background every now and then, and it's amazing art, and I love the vibes and everything about it. I'll probably just listen to Occupy, which is his latest album, sometime tomorrow or this week. But yeah, it's fun. It's an easy listen. Again, Box Set Girlfriend's the standout track here, as well as Disco Haze and Bad Motel, Instant Romance. But like once you get once the novelty of the synths and funk and everything just wear off, that's when you start to see the true colors, and it's kind of unfortunate. But hey, it's decent. It's enjoyable. I have listened to it countless times, so I'll give it credit there. Sometimes you need that trash pop, synth pop to just listen to, and in this case, it's some good trash. I feel horrible saying that. It's some good. It's a good synth pop. I do need to look more into the genre, and I do love like Malaysian, Singaporean pop music. It's like one of my favorite niches. So the synth pop is right at home there. Um, but yeah, I definitely suggest giving it a listen. Even though I was kind of harsh on it, I feel it deserves more, but I think that's the right place for it. I could have done it better, done a better write up in my review, but eh, sometimes you just need a break. And I'll be pushing myself to get like 4 or 5 more reviews out. I already have them. I already have ideas for all of them. One, like I know we're talking about this one, this one, this one, and I have the other one written down somewhere that I know. Which one is it? Ah, and maybe one of these. So that's the plan for now. Oh, I could have talked about. I could have done that today. Yeah, I could have done that today. Oh well, that's a plan for maybe 2 weeks from now if I need a break. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. Regardless, that's what we're gonna call it for today. Bit of a long one. I don't know how I managed to talk so long about this while I wasn't going track by track, but hey, that's fun doing it. So that's what I'm gonna call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow, and until then, later.